Yeah, when you talk.
Tristan Kelly, head coach Travis Mercado, Dalia Garibay. Coach, kind of finally get on the mat as a team coming up this weekend. What's kind of been the emphasis leading up to in training and everything leading up to these duels this weekend?
We got back 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago now, and we've kind of really put a big emphasis on just getting back into shape. We had a longer break than planned just because of, our travel schedule. Normally we're competing in December, and this year is a little bit different. And, the girls knew that, we knew that. So we've planned for that. The girls had a great winter break in the sense of their strength training with Coach Pfeiffer. She sent them home with some great stuff. All the girls came back in really good shape. So really it was just about getting back into shape, fine-tuning some things that, taking from what we learned at U23s and junior nationals and fixing those fine points, and then just getting ready and kind of game planning for the competitions this weekend.
Yeah, speaking of the competitions this weekend, we were kind of joking around before you guys got here that you're not really taking it easy going into the weekend. You get Ferrum and Limestone on Saturday, and then you go right into the nation's best with McKendree, King, and Emmanuel on Sunday. But just talk about those matchups.
It's the same as it's been the past 2 years. I think the first year we started off the season with the number one team, Wayland Baptist, and we fared really well. Last year we opened up with Wayland Baptist, and I think at the time they were maybe top 5, same thing, again, fared fairly well. It's not anything new to the program to go find the best competition, right? Limestone, we wrestled them at national duels. It's about the same year program as us. I think this is their second or third year as well. So a little bit, if you will, a warm-up weekend in the sense of that first day on Saturday. But then, we're getting right into the meat and potatoes of the competition. And someone said the other day, they were like, oh, you're going to wrestle like the top teams in the nation. I said, no. They're wrestling one of the top teams in the nation, talking about ourselves. So that's how we've really kind of, my mindset is going into it is, it's a, number 1, number 2, number 4, and we're 6 or 7, whatever number we are. And the reality is they get to wrestle us. And that's how I'm mentally approaching, how we've talked to the girls about it. They get to wrestle us. We're not wrestling them. They get to wrestle us. We get to prove why we're one of the top teams in the nation.
And then Tristan and Dalia, you guys were just at some national team camps. Talk about those experiences that you guys have had. Tristan, go ahead and start.
I went to the WCAP camp. I was training with them, so it was really good to get in the room with some senior athletes and be able to get to the next level, I guess, and experience that competition in the room. And it was really good learning experience while I wasn't here, still getting the training in that I needed to, and being able to keep on weight and keep on track to being a national champ this year.
I went to the Team USA Senior National Camp in Litchfield, Arizona. So that was a great experience. There was world medalists, world champs there. So it was nice to go out there and mix it up and train with the best of the nation there. So I still got the training that I needed that I would have got here. So it was a great experience for sure.
Questions?
See, Tristan, I know you're young, but you're so experienced with national competition and junior competition. How has that kind of translated into college wrestling for you?
Competing on the national level really isn't any different than competing at the college level. I feel like I just look at it as competition and not anything too crazy. I just go into it thinking it's the same and just with the mindset that I want to win, and that's all. Yeah.
Say the first weekend went all right for you.
Yeah.
Coach, you kind of mentioned having a mental mindset, we're one of the best. Do you have any other tricks that kind of keep you mentally tough, especially during these long breaks, or how to get motivated or stay motivated for these coming up?
I wouldn't call them tricks. It's just the same philosophy that we've had from the beginning. We talk about excellence, and we've built that championship culture here. We've really pushed this week in the sense of I'm going to steal something from the women's head basketball coach from Duke. She was talking about hard work versus competing, and there's a video that has who knows how many hundreds and thousands of views. And we've talked about that a lot. Everybody's working hard, but you can really separate yourself from some of the better people in your weight class, in the nation, however you want to say it, in your sport, by competing every day. So even if we're not wrestling, we're competing in some sort of way. Down in the weight room, we're competing. Down in, in conditioning, we're competing. We did a circuit workout the last weekend, and I told the girls, I was like, hey, it's not so much about, the work. It's hard. I'm going to make it hard, and that's part of it. But when you step on the line with somebody, you are competing. And if you can approach everything that you do with that mindset of I'm going to be excellent, I'm going to perform at my best, and I'm going to compete at my best, you're going to always have a mental edge against somebody. So it's really not a trick. It's just a way to approach it.
A mindset.
Yeah.
Hey, Dalia, you've wrestled against some of those other top teams, obviously in the last year and all. What does this team do mentally to get ready for, this is a buzzsaw weekend. Not just the competition, but the amount of wrestling you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I think we all have a pretty great mindset. We had a great practice today, a great practice yesterday. Having everyone back in the room, having me, Marissa, Tristan there, to help amp up, the level and the intensity in the room. So everyone's mindset is like, hey, we may be ranked number 6 or 7, but we're in the top 10. So we're striving to be that number 1 team, and the whole team's like, we want to be number 1. So I think everyone's mindset is, it's going to be a grind match this whole weekend. So we're just trying to get our mind to, go out there and we're going to scrap. We're going to give our best out there. So.
See, Tristan, it's one after the other of, there will be 0 easy matches. Is that obviously falling back on the experience you've got kind of help with that?
I don't mind that all of them are tough matches. I know that I have to, in order to get to the level that I want to be at, I'm going to hit some tough opponents. So I'm ready to grind it out with all the girls that I have to wrestle this weekend and hopefully win as a team.
How does the travel play a role in this and everything? You leaving Friday, flying cross country to duel in the Eastern time zone with having to make weight on back-to-back days and the travel in between the two places. How does that play a role in everything that goes on this weekend?
I think it starts with planning way ahead of time. And, I tell these girls it's not easy. And we're going to, the older girls have already kind of told the girls, we've done a couple of these cross-country trips before on plane, national duels last year, national tournament. And again, it's just managing yourself, managing your weight, managing, your emotions throughout that. And again, the time zone is a big difference. Sometimes that plays a big role. If we're weighing in at 8 a.m. East Coast time, that means, hey, we're getting up 6 o'clock here, which is really, you're probably getting up at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock here. We've done a lot of 6 a.m. practices before, and it kind of tunes us up for that. We have our early morning Saturday practices on the weekends, and again, kind of replicates what's going on. I think it's just a matter of just that planning overall, right? We've told the girls how to manage their weight. We talk about the correct way to cut out, where to cut their calories, when they stop, when to start to decrease their water intake, their hydration levels, so that way it's planned out. It's not, hey, by the way, I'm weighing in tomorrow. This is a methodical process. We've talked about it. The girls know where they're going to be at, where we're going to be at, what days we're working out. So I do a good job of sending out an itinerary, and the girls know pretty much detail for detail what time they're going to eat lunch, dinner, what hotel we're staying at, when we're going to get to the hotel, when we're going to work out, how long that workout is. It's just a matter of just pre-planning and knowing where we're going to be at. But yeah, traveling's hard. I think that always puts us at a disadvantage, I think. I know the King coach texted me this morning. He was like, we're good at weighing in at 8 a.m. to wrestle at 9. I know that's, puts you guys 2 hours difference Central or Mountain Time. And I was like, hey, it's how it is. Because when people come out here, they got to deal with elevation. They got to deal with time change. So, it's part of travel. That's what I think.
Tristan, like you said, we're going to nationals. It doesn't change much coming here to the college level. But, going out there, do you feel like there's going to be some kind of pressure to be one of the girls that other girls want to emulate while you're on the road?
I feel like I have a little bit of pressure, but I'm trying not to have that pressure on myself because I usually perform the best when I just let everything, I don't know how to put it, but go as planned. So I'm just going into this weekend doing the best I can, and whatever happens, happens. Win or lose, come back in the room and work on what I need to work on.
So do you kind of feel a similar way with having the experience of doing this?
Not really. I'm kind of just like, exactly what you said, whatever happens, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to wrestle and do my best. I'm going to leave it all out there on the mat. So either way, if I come back, win or lose, whatever, I'm still coming back to the room, and I'm going to keep implementing and working on things I need to do to reach that top level and be a national champ.
Tristan, you're kicking this thing off with a pretty big matchup right away. Like, this is what you signed up for. How do you feel? I mean, being here in this moment and getting ready to kind of take the world on.
I'm ready to have a really big match. It's not much different than what I'm used to, so I'm excited to get it and hopefully win.
Dalia, you feel that way? Like, this is what you signed up for? You want to face these tough teams right off the bat like this?
Yeah, I signed up for this. I mean, I'm not going to be a national champ winning an easy bracket. You know, I got to wrestle the best to be there. Like, I want to be a great national champ. Like, if I'm a national champ, I'm going to beat the best. So I have to beat them now at the time, you know, at the national championship. So either way, I got to go through somebody to win it. So.
I mean, both of them. Dalia last year beat Emma Bruntill, who was the eventual national champ. We beat her at home in their gym, or at their home gym. You know, we had another rematch with her in the finals. Tristan got to wrestle the #1 girl that won nationals, took second last year at junior nationals. Beat her in the finals. Beat her 2 out of 3 times that weekend. So, you know, you kind of mentioned, like, is there pressure? I don't think we talk a lot about pressure is this made up thing. It's not real. Right? Pressure is just something that we create on our own in our mind, and we really just kind of take the emphasis off winning and losing. That's where that pressure comes from. Like, I'm not going up to Dahl and be like, hey, by the way, you know, you got to win this match, or hey, Tristan, I really need you to pin this girl so we can get more points. Like, that's not what it's about. It's about these girls performing at their best and going out and approaching it that way, right? If they approach it that way, there's really no pressure. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some pressure. There's always something on the line. It's a individual sport, 1 versus 1. There's always some sort of pressure going on, but we try to de-emphasize a lot of those things that create that stress, create that pressure, so that way when we go out there, it's a big breath, ready to go. We know what we signed up for, right? We know what we're trying to accomplish, and I think that's how both of them approach everything daily.
To that end, I mean, you guys are going to have a ton of faith when you come back. Is that just going to be huge for you guys, knowing where kind of you stand and what you need to work on this early in the season?
Absolutely. We've never shied away from competing against someone that's better than us or ranked higher than us. Ultimately, it's about preparing them. I think we wrestled McKendree 2 times last year, which was awesome for us because we got to see him that many times. You know, I try to make sure that I'm setting them up for success by putting them in front of this best competition, because both of them have very high goals of themselves, not only collegiately but also nationally. They want to make these senior national teams, junior national teams. By us putting in those situations where they're going to have some adversity against these top girls, I'm ultimately preparing them for those big matches when, you know, the time that the light is on, shining, and, you know, it's the national finals, it's, you know, Olympic trials, wherever it may be. By putting them in these situations, I'm preparing them for stuff. And then again, it's not just about athletics, you know. Putting them in a high stressful situation prepares them for life after that too.
Can I ask you guys, too, D51 announced they're going to have women's wrestling, girls wrestling this year. How do you feel about the growth of the sport, and does it feel pretty cool to kind of be in a place where you can be an example so close to town, so close to
I really love to see the sport growing, and it's just an awesome thing to know that, like, I started when it was not as big, so to be able to have girls look up to me, I guess, is really cool, and being able to help them, and yeah, being a leader is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in Colorado for that long, but, you know, I'm a California origin, but, you know, Colorado, you know, girls are looking for you from all over the states, you know, Wisconsin, whatever, they're still looking at you, so it's good to, like, set an example for those girls to, you know, maybe get them to start, oh, these girls are wrestling in college, more colleges are opened up, maybe I should join wrestling, maybe I should continue wrestling in college, so it's good to be an example and part of it, so maybe more girls will start to wrestle.
More kids to recruit, right?
Yeah.
All right, question of the week. Favorite sports movie?
Ooh,
Remember the Titans.
that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I like the movie Dangle. Is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't watch sports movies.
For those that don't know, Dangle is about an Indian girl that joins the sport of wrestling. So some context behind it. All right, you guys have asked me this before. What's my favorite sports team? Los Angeles Angels. So I'm going to have to say Angels in the outfield, only because I don't know. I saw it when I was a kid, the fake players, right? I still make jokes about some of the lines where, it looks like a prison photo. Watch out, Nacho Butt's coming, like all those different lines. I still think it's yep. God's thumbnail. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite one.